I thought I'd read something a little different. I don't write a lot of flash fiction, but I figured with only 5 minutes to go, I'd read a complete story as opposed to an excerpt. So this is pretty much one of only 2 pieces of flash fiction that I've written and published. It's sort of a lake monster story with a twist called Vogo. There's nothing to do in Palace on a Friday night. Ryan suggested jumping the border into Canada. He knew a girl in Burnt Hill who could hook us up with some weed, but Alex shook his head, which immediately nixed that idea. We were cruising in Alex's car, and even when we weren't, he was our unspoken leader. I'm not going to chance getting busted by the border pigs just for some crappy New Brunswick cream. Then you pick something, Ryan browsed. I will. Alex put one finger to his lip, like he was thinking deeply, and that made me spit out the beer I had just sipped. I had snagged us a couple of 6-packs of Bud Light from my old man's beer fridge. Alex looked over and stared at me thoughtfully. I thought he was going to punch me in the throat for spilling beer in his car, but he grinned instead. We're going to steal a boat. We headed down to the docks and found a rowboat no one would miss for a few hours. After messing with the knot for a few agonizing minutes, Alex cut the line with a Swiss Army knife and told us to hop in. Ryan and I each took an oar and used them to paddle us out into the lake. Alex sat back and barked orders at us. Row, Droogs, row. That's what he was calling us lately. He was on a Clockwork Orange kick lately. Said it was the funniest movie he'd ever seen. By the time we reached the middle of the lake, Ryan was already whining about going back. I don't like it out here, he said. It's too dark. Don't be such a Nancy, Alex snapped. What are you afraid of, Vogo? We laughed, perhaps a bit too hard. Everyone in town knew about Vogo, although I didn't know anyone who'd ever seen him. Sometimes a tourist passing through would take a picture of something he claimed to be Vogo, but it always turned out to be a log or an otter. There had been no major sighting since the 1950s. If there ever was a Vogo, he was long dead. We sat in the middle of the lake for the next couple of hours, finishing the 6-packs, Alex called them our stores, and watching the moon make its way across the sky. It's hard to describe what happened next. I want to say something came up out of the water, but that's not exactly what happened. Maybe it doesn't matter. One moment our boat was bobbing in the water, and the next a great silvery shape came rising up next to us. Breaching, I guess you would say, considering the size of the creature. It was as big as a whale, but that's where the similarity ended. I don't know what it was. I'd never seen anything like it. It had a long tapering neck which I at first took to be a tentacle. Then it turned toward us. I wasn't sure what I was looking at, this long silvery appendage with 2 coal black dots on the tip. Then they blinked and I realized they were eyes. I'd never felt so small as I did at that moment, sitting in that boat, out in the middle of the lake, on that dark night. So very small. The creature continued to rise out of the lake as if in slow motion, leaving the water long enough for us to see the fins on the sides of its luminescent body. Each one was as big as a man. Then it came back down like a shimmering torpedo and disappeared into the water. That's not the strangest part, though. Whatever it is that lives in Piper Lake, Vogo, I guess, I don't think it's alive. You see, the creature that rose up next to our boat never disturbed the water, not even a single ripple. And when it left the water, when it hung for a moment in midair, I could see the moon. I could see the moon through its body.